Hello mate, hope you're keeping well. Thanks for the videos you sent over, and thank you for that video you sent over, the top one here, where you explained obviously how you're feeling about the changes and what you understand and don't understand and what you like and dislike. That was really helpful for me. Obviously we can't see the flight of the golf ball on the videos. Obviously you've been hitting a few balls out in the field, which you can obviously go to for feedback. But one thing I was going to say about that is obviously you're hitting balls in a net and trying to make changes, so try not to worry too much about where the ball's going if you do go to a field and hit it. The thing I'm really looking for, which you've actually done in the bottom video, which I'll show you now, is you have made some really good changes, especially on your backswing. So don't worry too much if the ball's going all over the shot when you actually hit it in a field, because it will take time to click. As long as you're hitting the positions, once you get back to a driving range or back onto the golf course, it will come together and you will start to be able to control the golf ball, and it will be a lot more consistent. So please don't worry if it's not going right at the moment. Just keep trying to nail in those positions and try and get into the right positions, and then just practice the repetition. Alright, so let's have a look at this bottom video with your iron. Obviously got an iron and a driver video, which is really useful. So one thing I did want to pick out, which I thought it was absolutely fantastic, a change that you've made. So if we wind you forward just to where you take the golf club away. So before we had the wrist picking up, which picked the toe of the golf club up, and then you almost brought the club outwards a bit too much. Okay, if we have a look now, you get that nice rotation of the wrists, the club head follows, and you get the club head coming back a lot more straighter and a lot more in line. Now, if we have a look at this, you can see how the golf club comes back a lot more in line. The wrists open, they don't lift up, they rotate, which is good, and you hit this position. This is brilliant because I can see that we get, if I put your feet line in, the club shaft sits directly on top of that, on top of your feet line, which is brilliant. Now a change which has happened, which has been brilliant as well by doing this, is it's got you more in line on the backswing. So, golf shaft, dissecting your forearm. Alright, so again, straight through the middle of your forearm here. Perfect, shows me you're on line. And then as we go through the golf swing, up to the top of your backswing. Again, absolutely brilliant. That, as a backswing position, is textbook. Club is on line, pointing again straight down your feet line. If I draw that line in, you can see how that shaft marries up with that. So again, that's perfect. Full shoulder turn, you stayed in posture. So your spine angle and your leg position, your head position is exactly the same from where we started. So again, the backswing is really good. Stick with that. Keep putting the reps in for that, because that's absolutely brilliant. You don't need to think about your backswing with your irons at all, okay? One thing I will say is with the driver, I'll come on to it in a minute, but just keep practicing that, opening the arms and try and get the club to come a little bit more this way with the driver. You said, shall I feel like, do I need to swing my arms a bit more around myself? No, you don't need to. Just feel like you open up your wrists instead of pit the club up, if that makes sense. Okay, now let's go on to the faults at the moment. So with the iron, okay, before when you brought the club down, it was very much over the top. See, that's exaggerated. Your hands don't follow that path. The big thing for you is I want you to think about where your hands have to be. Obviously, it's hard in the golf swing. You don't really think about your hands, especially on the way down, because you just think about hitting the golf ball. But when you're practicing in a net, it's a great time to think about what your hands are doing. So before your hands came, again, over that top, so you chuck your hands over the top. With the iron now, if we look at the bottom video, your hands do come down a bit more in line, which is good. And again, you can see how your hands trace down that line, which is, again, is pretty good, to be honest with you. you can hit good golf shots with that path, and then you do almost try and hit out to the right here. You see the ball starts on line, and you swing left and you release the hands, which is good. Okay. Now with the driver, it's exaggerated, so I need you to make a feeling from the top of the backswing with your hands. So if we wind this video on at the top now, so again, you just try and rotate your hands open a bit more. See how the club still works a little bit more on the outside. Again, you hit not a bad position here. Ooh, not a bad position here. And the club goes up through your forearm again, which is fine. So you don't need to feel like you're swinging more around yourself or anything. But the big thing is from this position here, okay? So with the driver, I need you to feel that instead of just bringing the hand straight down, I need you to start to exaggerate it now. And I need you to feel that the hands almost drop behind you. So feel like you're almost looping your hands in and behind you on this line, okay? Now if I keep those series of lines there, where we should be, I'll do a little arrow, there we go. Watch what your hands do now, okay? So, can you see, obviously there's still that over the top movement, but can you see how you almost push your hands out away from your body, okay? So you're trying to keep your elbow in, which is fine, but you're still kind of pushing your hands out this way, okay? So let me delete those lines. Yeah, so there we go. So it's that movement there. So that frame to that frame, look at your hands. Yeah, so you can see how your hands go from this position almost out, okay? If you're in this position here, your hands should be coming down here somewhere, okay? So when you bring the club down, instead of almost, it's just, you're not thinking about doing it, it is just something that's happening in your golf swing. You need to just try and get that feeling of your hands tracing behind you. So think about from this top position, again I'll demonstrate this to you, I will send you a video doing this to show you the movement you have to make. So you're going to be dropping your hands on the inside, and then you can then release that club through, okay? So let's play it all the way. So the hands get chucked out and you almost swing your hands across your body, and then you try and hit, which from this position here, because your hands are so far out, you're never going to make that swing path, you're never going to make this swing path going towards the right hand side. It's always going to swing left. So out to in, okay? So if you can just practice, Paul, literally just from the top position again, just to recap, from the top position, just trying to drop the hands in, not out, not pushing away from you and out and across. Try and feel like you're getting your hands in behind yourself. Again, I'll send you those videos of me doing this just to demonstrate to you. But let's just go on from that and have a look through impact. Yeah, see the last thing as well I want to pick up on, which all ties in with this. So, when we swing through the golf ball and come into impact, so when we hit the golf ball, if you look at all the best players in the world, a lot of them get their right arm underneath their left arm, okay? If we have a look at yours, let me get rid of all these lines. So this position here, I'll zoom in. Can you see how we can see a lot of your left arm, but your right arm's under? That is perfect, okay? At impact, if that was at impact, that would be brilliant. When you come through the ball, this is just post-impact, can you see how your right arm and your left arm are in line? And if you do that, if you hold the club out in front of you, okay, and just tilt your shoulders, just tilt your arms sort of through left through impact, I'll demonstrate this again to you. Your right arm will be dominant and it will be almost on top your left arm. I want you to feel that you're in this position through impact. So your right arm is underneath your left arm, okay? Try and feel that, because again, once you're in this position, it's then very easy to hit the golf ball this way. If your right arm is above your left arm, you're gonna swing left, which you're doing. So there's a couple of things there. I know this might sound really complicated, but it's just, don't worry about your backswing because that's really good. The biggest thing is this downswing movement. So it's looping it from the top, looping it almost down and behind you. Okay, so the club's got, the hands have to work down this way. So they have to work in down and behind you. Feel like you're making a big loop behind you. And then coming through into impact. This position should be at impact, not post impact, at impact. So feel like you're, if you need to feel like your right shoulder dips down a little bit. So if you hold the club out in front of you and then just dip your right shoulder, you can see then how your right arm is lower than your left arm. And again, I'll demonstrate that to you. See if that helps. Keep in touch and see if you can make those changes. Keep taking videos and then see how it goes. I'll send you across those videos hopefully today, and yeah, just keep up the good work. Like I said, I'm really impressed with your backswing. I know this is going on a little bit now, this video, but just keep practicing that downswing position. The backswing is getting there, especially with the irons. It's the golf swing's actually looking really, really good on the backswing. On the downswing with the irons, it's not looking too bad. You can still hit good golf shots, but with the driver, yeah, you need to feel that you're loop your hands down and behind you, and that your forearms are in this position. Okay, so just to recap: exposed left arm, right arm underneath. Not in this position. So again, you can almost see here when we zoom in. Actually, I've just noticed you can kind of see your back left arm underneath here. All right. Yeah, so you can see here, even here, your right arm is very, very much on top of your left arm. We need to get it the other way round. Okay, that's going to help you hit a lot more this way. All right, Paul. I'll send you across those videos, and yeah, keep practicing and keep in touch and see how it goes. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Bye.